My check. We are live. I do apologize about the technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on with my webcam, but we are here. Following a 2-in-1 day yesterday, another winning day on the channel. Our hot start to the new year continues. Can we do it again today? Well, I think so, because college basketball is on. It's Super Tuesday, and you guys know what that means. Hardwood haymakers. We are cooking up moneyline parlays. All of it is on the way for you guys on this episode of the Free 3. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living, back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and get to that money. Yesterday, hey, we had a great day on the channel. I told you guys to take the Rams. People were doubting me. People were like, everybody's on the Rams. I think it's the Vikings. And sure enough, the St. Louis Rams pulled it out. Well, I should not say St. Louis, Los Angeles Rams. Wow. Talk about me, right? I was actually watching some St. Louis highlights the other night. But let's look at how we did yesterday here on the channel real quickly. We're going to pull up action so we can just look at some of the plays. Plus $400 on the day. You love to see it. Well, that's not exactly what we did on the Free 3, because we did 4 best bets that I gave you guys here on the channel. We added a few others a little bit later on stream. We got the two-way teaser, right, that you could see here. We got the under 53, and we got Los Angeles plus 8.5. We got that done. We also told you to take Sam Darnold's pass attempts over 34.5. That hit as well. And then our bankroll builder of the day, you can see it right here. 5 teams, all to win in college basketball, and they all got it done. We added a few extra plays a little bit later on in stream. If you joined us on Twitch after the Free 3, we added Anthony Edwards points. You can see I was telling Shark Clark, my boy right there, that cashed in and had 42. We took Jalen Green's points. He had 42. And then we also took another 3-team steam here, but that one lost. So overall here on the channel for the Free 3, we went 3-1. And then for the stream as a day, we went 5-1. You can't be too mad at that. You love to see that. For the official Free 3 record, you can see we're 29-21 on the year. So just a little bit of a quick heads up, the action is going to take in all the bets that I'm liking, that we do on stream, that I'm tailing people on. But the Free 3 specifically, the show, the podcast that I'm giving you guys right now, we're 29-21. You can see how we've been doing per sport here. Not too shabby. That college basketball record, 53-35. That's what we're leaning into today. That's what we're looking on double downing on. All right, let's dive into this slate real quickly today as we pull up the odds screen here, as we have a loaded college basketball slate. I mean, I'm talking about like what, 30-40 games we have on for this Tuesday slate. And the first one that we're gonna go to is, if I scroll down here, we're gonna go to the Mississippi State and Auburn matchup. This is a pretty interesting matchup because both of these teams are fairly good on the year. Mississippi State's 14-2, as we can see right here. Meanwhile, Auburn Tigers, they're 15-1. The number 1 team in the country, the Auburn Tigers, they've won at home, they've won on the road, they've done it all. They've covered the spread. You can see they're 9-6-1 against the number. Meanwhile, Mississippi State 10-6. Auburn 6-2 against the number at home where they are today. Meanwhile, Mississippi State, they're 3-0 against the number on the road. So something has to give. And for me, Auburn is missing one of their best players, Joseph Boehm, the big man on the inside. So because he's not playing today, I believe that the advantage lies with Mississippi State as the road team and as the road dog. Do I think Auburn wins the game? Yes, but it's just a lot of points to lay. So what we're going to do here is for our first best bet, Mississippi State plus 7.5, minus 105 odds. So you can see here, well, it's up to minus 110 now in certain books, so we'll do it minus 110. Well, we can get that FanDuel number here at minus 102, so let's do that. And we're going to go 1 unit down here at plus 7.5. Let's go to our old trusty friend and Mr. Ken Palm himself to kind of break this game down a little bit further. Mississippi State, they're good. They're led by Chris Jantz, the head coach there. And you can see their only 2 losses came against Butler on the neutral floor. That was a pretty bad loss. And then against Kentucky, which that was at home, but that was a game where Kentucky was shooting absolutely lights out in that matchup. That was on Saturday. We actually leaned Kentucky in that game. And the reason why we did is because it was a big bounce back spot after just getting demolished on the road against Georgia. So it was a game where Kentucky really should have won that game, given the fact it was their second road game. They had just lost. Good situational spot for them. Well, now it's a good situational spot for Mississippi State because they just lost at home. Now they have to travel on the road to a very tough environment like Auburn, but the good thing is they've played in tough environments before. You can see they played at Vanderbilt, which is a very good team right now. They beat Memphis on the road. You love to see that. SMU, another tough road win, which is great. And then now Auburn, like I mentioned, their only loss was against Duke, but they are missing their best player, Johnny Bohm. Look at this. Go-to guys. He's more than a major contributor. More than 28% of the possessions used, everything is running through him. You know what this number 2 means? That's his national rank, player of the year standards. Only Cooper Flagg right now has more of a higher rating and more use than Johnny Bohm. And now that he's out of this game, the senior, I believe that Auburn is going to be affected by this, because look at their next major contributor, a freshman. Yes, they do have some other senior guards and some more experience here as well, but here's another key player, a freshman as well. So because of that, I just think that when you're missing your leader of your team, you got to fall back on your defense, which Auburn has the 17th best defense, but they're going to take a very big hit offensively. Then one of the reasons why they're number 1 offensive efficiency, number 7th in 2-point percentage, is because of Bohm. And now you've got a team like Mississippi State that is focused on defense, 39th in defensive efficiency, 8th in turnover percentage, efficient on the offensive side, 16th in adjusted efficiency. I like this Mississippi State team to keep it close. KenPom has this as a 7-point win. No, what is this? No, he has this as a 13-point win for Auburn. So no, I can't necessarily agree with that. We get the line move here from 9.5 here to 7.5. I still like the value that we're getting with Mississippi State. If Auburn blows them out here, then Auburn is, I mean, they're really just as good as advertised. I mean, you know, I'm not saying bet against Auburn. I like them as a money line parlay piece, but all I am saying is with the injury, we're getting some value on them. I like Mississippi State bounce back spot. That's the first pick of the day. Second best bet of the day, if we go back to the odds screen here, we're going to go to a late night matchup between the Iowa Hawkeyes and the USC Trojans. And you can see in this matchup, we have a fairly tight line in between the threes. We had it open up in favor of Iowa. Well, now USC's the favorite at -2.5. But instead of taking a look at the lines, I'm going to take a look at the total in this one. And I'm going to go with over 161.5. You can see we can get this at -112 odds right here on Daily Bet. But we'll just lock it at -120 odds as the standard of what we're getting right here. Now, both of these teams are over teams. Let's look at the numbers this year. To the over, USC 11-5 to the over, and they're 7-4 to the over at home. Meanwhile, Iowa is 10-6 to the over and 2-1 to the over on the road, and 3-0 to the over as an underdog, which they are in this situational spot. Let's pull up KenPom. Let's take a look at both of these offenses. Iowa 19th in offensive efficiency, 20th in adjusted tempo, 10th in average possession length on the offensive side. Meanwhile, they are 3rd in effective field goal percentage and 12th in turnover percentage. They don't turn over the ball despite the fact that they play fast. You love to see that, and they're both efficient from the 3-point line and the 2-point line. The only thing that's keeping me off of taking them on the money line in this game is the fact right here, the free throw percentages. When you don't have a team that can hit free throws, especially late down the stretch in a hostile road environment like USC, it can get a little tough. Now, USC on their side, led by first-year head coach Eric Musselman for the Trojans, as he's come over from Arkansas. If you knew Eric Musselman in his days with the Razorbacks, he was an overcoach then. He likes to push the pace. He likes to play gritty basketball. He likes to press you. He likes to speed up the tempo. So even though they're only 162nd in offensive or in tempo here, you can see here they're a little bit stronger in average possession length on the defensive side. So they speed you up, and that's because they kind of run that full court press, that little token pressure to kind of get you going into your offense a little bit earlier. They still have a pretty strong offense, 97th in effective field goal percentage, 107th in turnover percentage. But the key for me in this matchup is not really USC's offense as much as it is Iowa's defense. Iowa's defense cannot stop a nosebleed, 98th in defensive efficiency, and you can see some of the teams that they faced this year. Utah State, they gave up 77. They gave up 77 to USC Upstate, 85 to Michigan, 89 to Iowa State, which is a very slow-paced team, 116 to Wisconsin. Like, that's what the type of team that we're talking about here, okay? Iowa doesn't play a whole lot of defense, and with a USC team that struggles to score the ball in the half court at times, I believe them getting out in transition. The speed of Iowa is going to give USC more possessions, which should lead to more points. And if we look at some of the recent trends from both of these teams, they've both been going over recently. 4 of the last 5 for USC, over. Under against Southern, that was a blowout win. All the rest went over. So far in conference games, USC has gone over. Meanwhile, Iowa, over. The only one that did not go over was their last game against Indiana. Why? Because they won that game 85-60. If they don't blow out Indiana by 25 points and it's a little bit of a closer game, guarantee you that game goes over. So for me, don't overthink it. Let's bet with the trend here. Over in Iowa, USC, over 161.5 as best bet number 2. Best bet number 3, we're going to go to the Arkansas Razorbacks as they travel on the road to the LSU Tigers. This is a game that is basically a must-win for John Calipari. They're 11-5 on the year, but they're 0-3 in conference. So starting off the season 11-2, they've dropped 3 straight games. Meanwhile, LSU has not picked up a conference win as of yet, so something has to give them this matchup, and I just have to go with the team that I think has the better players. You can see the numbers. 4-11 against the number, 0-4 on the road, 1-4 as an underdog. Meanwhile, LSU 7-9 against the number, 5-6 at home. So why am I leaning Arkansas here? Because they gotta win. But look who they've played: Florida, Mississippi, Ole Miss, I should say, and Tennessee. They've played 3 of the toughest opponents in the conference thus far. Now, granted, Arkansas should be one of the best teams in conference as well, but let's be honest. They know Florida. They know Tennessee. Calipari brought over a lot of transfers. He brought over some guys that, it's a little bit tough. So you got to give him some time to get acclimated here, right? I know he's from the SEC and it's the same parallel conference, but it's not the same players. It's not the same teams. It's not the same programs. Meanwhile, LSU on the other side, their 3 losses against Ole Miss, Mizzou, and Vanderbilt. But this, and not to disrespect Mizzou, not to disrespect Vanderbilt, because both of those are great programs, but they're not Arkansas. And Arkansas, I think we're getting some value on them because it's the short end of the stick. They started off the season, the conference 0-3, but 6th team in the country, 23rd team in the country, 5th team in the country. That's tough, all right? And yes, they were both home losses, but now they get a chance here to go on the road, pick up a big quality road win against LSU, pick up another quality road win against, this is their chance to make a move here in the schedule if they're going to ever do something. And this is their chance. And we've seen them beat Michigan. We've seen them beat Lipscomb. Now, yes, they have tough losses to Illinois and Baylor, and that's what keeps me off Arkansas when they play great teams like Tennessee and Florida. But LSU is just not that really good team. They've lost 3 in a row. They're back at home. Something has to give in this matchup. If you want to wait for it to happen live so you can take Arkansas at plus the money, I'm not opposed to that. But I think this is just one of those must-win spots for Calipari. He's feeling the pressure. The media's on his ass. He's got to get those boys fired up, and he's got the talent, man. Look at the talent. He's got Boogie, he's got Tiaro, he's got Wagner, he's got Carter. I think he should use Jonell Davis a little bit more off the bench. He's got some guys. They just have to hit shots. They just have to play defense, and I think Arkansas should be able to do that. Let's lock that in as our second and final best bet of the day. So 3 best bets that we guys have on this free 3 Super Tuesday card so far here in college basketball. We've got Mississippi at plus 7.5. We've got over in Iowa and USC, at over 161.5, and then we're also smashing Arkansas here on the money line at minus 130. Again, if you want to wait for this game live, feel free to take them live. And yes, there are a lot of games on, so because you stayed to the end, I do appreciate you guys. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't done so just yet, because I'm giving you guys bankroll builders that are literally building your account. They're feeding families over here. I know they're feeding mine, right? And I have another one for you guys today that I really love. There are a lot of favorites, and if you guys hang out a little bit later on after I get off stream, come join me on Twitch after we finish the free 3 recording, so this way we can build our hardwood haymaker. That's our plus 1,000 moneyline parlay. We've hit it in back-to-back weekends. And now, with a Super Tuesday card like today, I think we can cook one up for today. My moneyline parlay for you guys today, real fast, is there's some games. You can do Kentucky, You could do Auburn, you could do Alabama, but what I'm going to go with here is I'm going to go with Louisville on the road against Syracuse. Syracuse is auto fade right now for me. They're not a good team. Louisville is strong. They've picked up some quality conference wins. Let's take Louisville here. I'm taking VCU at home. St. Louis is a little bit of a fraud. They're 3-0 in conference, but I like VCU back at home today. They're healthy. That defense is looking good. We're going to take St. John's against Georgetown. I've told you Georgetown are frauds. Shout out to them for starting off the regular season like 13-3 or whatever their record is, but now things get real in the Big East Conference, and now they're playing some good teams. And then finally, to top us off is because these three teams get us -112, so you can do that, or we could just add a huge favorite like Marquette against a weak team in DePaul to get it done on the road. +108 odds to get you done. That's $100 to win, or 1 unit to win, another unit to double your money. We've been cashing in on these, and these are all 7 o'clock games, so you can run it back a little bit later with a few other teams at 9 o'clock. I'm about to craft another one on stream right on Twitch right after we get done with this recording. So if you want to join me for that, feel free. You can throw Alabama in there. Now you're at +139. So you can do one here at +139 at 5 teams, and then you could take like Alabama out of it and then do one, or you don't have to include Marquette at -110,000. So you can do Alabama, Louisville, VCU, and Georgetown. That I do like Wichita State as well today. That gets you to +117. I'm not opposed to that, but I don't want to touch the Alabama game just because anything can happen over there. Ole Miss, I don't think they win, but I just don't like DePaul more. So I'm just going to take that one instead, okay? So we locked in both type of action. We got Alabama. We got the 4-piece right here, +108, +139. That's all 7 o'clock. We're going to run it back for a 9 o'clocker, and we're going to do that on Twitch after this. Appreciate you guys for tapping into the free 3 today. It is your boy Noble Living. Every single day I'm here dropping a video with my favorite picks and plays. We're going to get back into NBA here in a little bit, but right now with football and college basketball, I don't really want to touch NBA. I will have a few added plays there, player props like we did yesterday on stream. So make sure you guys are following me on Action Network at Noble Living. Same thing on YouTube, Twitter, all the social platforms, and then DYF Bets on YouTube. All right, my friends? Thank you for all the love and support. Let's have a day. Let's get to that cheddar. Manage your bankroll accordingly, and let's get to that money. All right, friends? Dictate your fate, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video. I'll be on Twitch in about 10 minutes to break down a little bit more, a few games, and then to craft a few more money line parlays. All right, guys? I'll see y'all a little bit later.